Well. Hey, y'all, we got a crazy video today, bro. Druski Allegations by JAMARI. I feel like I ain't ready to do a JAMARI video in a minute, bro. Now, as far as the Druski Allegations, I have not heard the finer details of the allegations, but I've heard bits and pieces. Only things I know is Diddy party and slip and slide. That shit. That is wild. But we gotta go ahead and check this video out and see what the rest of the stuff is. I'm pretty sure JAMARI did his research. So without further ado, let's get it.
So Druski has been an up-and-coming star for around the last 4 years. He was ushered into the internet game around the same time as his good friend Jack.
He rose up fast.
And it was like as Jack was rising up the ranks of music, Druski was rising up the ranks of comedy. In that time, he has become the most infamous skit comedian online, and this has obviously afforded him many opportunities, including his own show, countless sponsorships and commercials, features in movies,
he got the fake locks,
steak and Happy Dad alcoholic beverages, feature on 2K,
ugly,
and frequent collaborations with the biggest streamers and comedians in the world.
Bro, first time I was playing 2K and I seen Druski big ugly ass on the sideline, bro, that shit had me crying. I ain't believe it was him at first. Brad to pause the game and zoom in like, is that Druski? And that really was Druski, dog. That is hilarious, bro. Shout out to him for what he doing right now, though, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, this man became a cash cow.
I just hope the allegations ain't true.
An insane ability to take everyday situations and types of people and turn them into a viral skit or a meme. And his comedy just has this way of reflecting and predicting in real life situations. But now Druski has found himself in a Diddy situation, as he and his friend and popular wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. have been listed in some of these Diddy accusations.
What?
But the claims
OBJ?
around here are honestly so outlandish.
Get Diddy off my screen, bro.
Makes this hard to believe. Now, yesterday was when this bombshell would hit the
Diddy docket.
In the matter of Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs, an amended complaint names 2 more plaintiffs and several additional defendants, including Odell Beckham Jr., Druski, and a
Jaguar, right?
People. So previously, it was just Combs.
Hold on, wait a minute. Janice Combs, Big Homie, CC, and more. Damn.
Druski, and a myriad of other people. So previously, it was just Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs, and then a couple John Does that were not listed. And now those John Does, the main ones, have been listed as Druski and Odell Beckham Jr. Druski's name is actually listed 45 different times in this lawsuit. But these are the key details that make everyone think that this is pretty far-fetched. Defendant Diddy then instructed another defendant Doe to also violate plaintiff defendant Doe, who has been determined to be defendant Druski, is what they're alleging. Instead of immediately violating the plaintiff, defendant Druski doused plaintiff with more oil and lubricant and then jumped on top of the plaintiff's naked and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide, and knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size.
Listen. It's not funny. It's not funny. I keep looking at the words. I keep reading it. It's not funny. So, why? Like, why? What the fuck? What? It's not, sexual assault is not funny, bro. But Druski doused. I just picture him in his big goofy ass, but like this is on some cartoon shit. I just picture him with a tub of oil and just throwing that bitch on him, and then starfish diving on a motherfucker, like swan diving on him, and big as hell. Like, what are you doing, bro? And then I'm saying, what are you doing, bro? I don't know if I believe that this actually happened. This sounds crazy, but the thing about it is, sounds crazy. That don't mean it's not true. It's one of them things like, yo, you couldn't make this up. There's no way this person is making this up, that he did this. But at the same time, you never know. Again, I don't know what to believe. I would err more toward the side of this probably didn't happen just because of how stupid it sounds. But you just never know. Let's just hit play, bro.
So they're saying Druski was in there slipping and sliding all around. Defendant Druski then caught himself from sliding over the plaintiff's oiled body, and off the bed, he then began violating the plaintiff through her reproductive parts. While defendant Druski was violating the plaintiff, defendant Diddy sat in a chair near the bed and began pleasuring himself.
Oh my God,
while recording
bro.
Plaintiff's violation by defendant Druski. Another party's phone fell on
I
the bed
really
near
hope
the
this shit ain't
plaintiff.
true, Druski.
The plaintiff then attempted to grab the phone, but it slipped out of her hands and onto the floor due to the oil/lubricant that had been doused all over her person by defendants Diddy and Druski. Obviously, at this point, the baby oil is like infamous in this Diddy case.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't remember, they claim that they discovered over 1,000 bottles of laced baby oil in Diddy's house.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, he said lace baby oil. I just recently found that out. I thought they recovered just regular old baby oil. Apparently it was like laced with shit. Like if you rub on this baby oil, not only will you get slicked up like baby oil does, but you'll get like high. Like, dog, this man, how you got thousands of bottles of laced baby oil? You are drugging people through the skin by just rubbing the oil on them. This man Diddy is nasty. He's nasty. This man is big sick. Get him out of here. Druski, I really hope you ain't a part of this, bro. Please.
And they seize cases.
We don't need no more, bro.
Cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Defendant Diddy began the plaintiff's attempt to grab the phone. Throughout this violent gang violation, defendant Diddy made constant belittling remarks to plaintiff, including that he owned her now. When defendant finished violating the plaintiff, defendant KK entered the room to examine the condition of the plaintiff, who was barely able to move or control her bodily functions. And they say this is when they attached her to an IV and pretty much brought her back to life, made sure she wasn't gonna die. And that was apparently when Diddy, Shane, who is apparently the man who introduced Diddy to this person, KK Odell, and exited the residence to the backyard where they smoked marijuana and cigarettes. And so obviously this all had the internet going absolutely wild. Of course, people immediately started resurfacing old clips of Diddy hanging out with Druski.
Don't mind if I do.
I would not sip this man's alcohol. Hell no.
They were basically saying that this clip hits different now, as it was also rumored that Diddy had been lacing drinks at his infamous...
Yeah, like, bro.
I wouldn't,
I never seen this skit.
Shot.
Druski was also asked at one point what it was like to attend these Diddy parties.
Oh, he was with Gilawala?
Yeah, I've been in attendance. I've been in attendance. Hey, what the fuck you smirking for?
I ain't saying that.
I've been in attendance.
We just asking regular questions.
Nah, bro.
I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking.
We just asking.
Yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
"Do you have fun?"
I ain't seen that yet.
Yeah, you did.
Did you have fun? Oh my God, bro.
I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties.
What party? Say that about the party. What party you talking about? What party you talking about?
I have been in attendance at a puff party. You know what I'm saying? I've been in attendance.
No, don't try to change it up.
Yeah.
What a Puff party. Diddy party.
It was girls turn up.
I know Puff is Diddy. Not the point.
Other celebrities and shit, yeah.
That's what you do.
Now, obviously, Druski does like to troll. Yes, his body language became a little bit uncomfortable, but you do have to keep in mind that thousands of different people have been to these Diddy parties, allegedly, and obviously, when they're all asked about it, they all say, well, you know, I went to the Diddy party, but I didn't go to, like, the Diddy party, like the behind the doors party that was going on.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too. I wonder if P. Diddy ever threw like a regular party. Like, was he having a freak off every damn time, bro? There was not one time where he just threw a regular party that wasn't meant to get freaky at the end of it. I mean, he was probably always trying to get freaky, but ain't no way he was trying to get the whole room, the whole attendance freaky every time. Like, it couldn't have been that, bro. It had to be some regular old parties. It had to be. Which just a couple people got freaked on. Hey, this man is wild, bro.
So then I started questioning, well, what was Diddy's real relationship with Druski? And as you guys can see here, back in 2021, Druski did have this show called Sneaking In with Druski.
Sneaking In with Druski.
And upon further inspection, you can see that this was airing on Revolt, which was a media network that was primarily owned and founded by Sean Diddy Combs.
Didn't know that.
And although he no longer owns any shares in the company, back in 2021, he was still running that shit, and he presumably gave that opportunity to his boy Druski. I also thought that this little tidbit was interesting because Odell Beckham Jr. and Druski have been friends for quite a few years now. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. struck up a friendship with Druski upon finding his videos and invited the comedian to stay at his home during the COVID-19.
To stay at his home?
And obviously, the pandemic was back in early 2020.
Just details that left out.
Dates really
probably
start
more
not
to it than
matching
that.
up because the defendant is saying that this happened on March 23rd, 2018. Well before Druski was even remotely famous or known online.
Yeah, and that's what Druski made as his defense, right? That's what I heard. That Druski made his defense like, yo, I wasn't even famous at the time that she's alleging that I did anything to her. Why would I be at a Diddy party when I wasn't even famous yet? How could I get invited? Didn't nobody know who the fuck I was. I was still nobody. I was still trying to make my name. Why would I be at a Diddy party? Which seems like it lines up. If you could look at the timelines line up. So like, do we got any evidence proving that he could have been at a Diddy party before he actually blew up?
Where the defendant says that this guy Shane invited the plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he was weak and unable to open his medications. She says upon her arrival that this guy Shane wanted to give her a ride in his new car. And she says this is when this guy Shane pretty much set her up for the violation that allegedly involved Diddy, Druski, and OBJ. Now, much like with Jay-Z
and OBJ
Diddy accusations, Druski would respond swiftly to this filing, where he says the allegation is a fabricated lie. I wasn't a public figure in 2018.
Okay, read this right here.
I was broke and living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation, so the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish. My heart breaks for actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are maliciously trying to game the legal system to peddle false narratives. So he kind of has the same stance that Jay-Z had back a couple months ago, saying this whole thing is a bunch of bullshit.
And it was that recent?
Isn't even really adding up. And of course, when something like this comes out, you're going to have a lot of people running with the story. Like this tweet that went viral where this girl says, I can't believe hashtag Odell Beckham Jr. and hashtag Druski are in this new Diddy lawsuit taking turns violating this girl. Wow. You had other popular hip-hop and media pages saying Druski did what? The same sentiment is shared here, ironically including this misinformation meme. Then you had people using Druski's own skits against him, like this guy who says there's no way that this Druski shit is real. Shit! Basically saying that was Druski's reaction to this information. Another user says Druski after someone didn't give him consent.
Dude, like, come on, be real.
Bro.
This guy specifically seems to really be leading the charge when it comes to these Druski jokes about this very serious situation.
Really, bro?
He's Druski's lawyer right now.
We got good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy.
Okay.
Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
So yeah, it's just crazy to see this guy's
his big ass running, bro,
being used against him at this point, even if it is a joke. These are the type of things that people try to get off on. They do end up going viral, and it's really all just for a couple little Twitter shekels and a little bit of clout. Like, it's not worth making this type of weird, shitty joke, whether you believe he's guilty for some reason or not.
Yeah, that's your ass.
Honestly,
I ain't gonna lie.
It's a whole bunch of nonsense.
You run a whole page that does that?
Other people making more serious statements like this. Okay, so now that Druski was named in the Diddy lawsuit for gang violation, this creepy skit he made in 2022 about guys getting girls drunk to have sex with them is aging so horribly. And it's like, does the person that posted this not understand that the entire point of this skit was to pretty much dog out guys that act like this? Like, the whole point of the skit is to say the guys who act like this are pieces of shit. Now, here's a clip from 4 months ago.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
News Network, and of the lawyer representing this woman, Ashley Parham, in this case, and now these other two Jane Does, speaking on behalf of her client and the entire situation.
Okay. Well, her attorney says she was in her 30s at the time of this alleged violent attack. It happened just about half a mile away from the Orinda police station here in the neighborhood about 6 years ago.
So yeah, 6 years ago, long before Druski was known at all.
Ashley Parham says in 2018, Diddy and his entourage violently gangbang-style her in Orinda. Her attorney, Ariel Mitchell, says it all started when she met a man named Shane Pierce in a bar in Contra Costa County, who began a FaceTime call with Diddy.
She actually made a quip about Mr. Combs having something to do, that she didn't like him because he had something to do with Tupac's murder.
The lawsuit says Parham believed Pierce invited her over to set her up to be by Diddy. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office told us in a statement, a report was taken on March 23rd, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded.
And that does make things a little bit more interesting for me, because Obviously, a legitimate report was made at that time.
Right.
Even back then, the police say, well, we found no wrongdoing.
Right.
They're saying we don't believe this ever even happened.
She also reported the incident to Walnut Creek Police and Orinda Police without naming Diddy, as she felt she would not be believed. The woman who lives there confirms Pierce lived there, but that he was too sick with cancer and ALS to have done this. She also says Pierce did not know Diddy.
So they're saying this guy has not only cancer, but also ALS. Now, if I really want to get into my conspiracy bag, I want to note here that I think that this all could just be a mastermind smokescreen being set by Diddy and his legal team. It's like Pokemon, okay? The accuracy goes down once you set the smokescreen. Because recently, the case against Jay-Z has been dropped without prejudice, which I believe means that they cannot, like, try to bring it back up in court. They cannot try and try Jay-Z again for the same thing. Obviously, there was a lot of holes in the timeline of that story. The accuser's own father said that he doesn't remember any of that taking place. And overall, the timeline and the series of events, especially when she came out on that news segment, just really were not adding up.
Okay, so are they... So that is his conspiracy. If I ascertained it correctly, he's trying to say that he thinks that this whole thing is a setup. Even the woman, like, saying what she's saying is a smokescreen to get the internet to focus on this and forget about the fact that the allegations against Jay-Z have just been completely straight up dropped. Again, like you said, without prejudice, so they can't even bring it back up. So they dropped the charges. He can't be brought back up on charges for the same thing. He's free to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he was ever in jail. But I'm saying, like, they can't fuck with him no more. He gone. He out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. Y'all couldn't find no evidence that the boy did anything. Get out my face. And you can't get back in my face. But, you know, there might be a public outcry because of that. So they're doing this. So people are like, you know, focusing on it. That's a good conspiracy. Conspiracies are just conspiracies, but at the same time, it do sound like some bullshit. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, why Druski? Like, why Druski? Druski is a very specific person to name. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially given the timeline, 2018, when he wasn't even famous yet. How can you say it was him? I don't mean how can you say it's him as if she doesn't know who. I'm saying, like, if it really did happen. No, that's not the right word. Because if it really did happen, that means she would know that it was Druski. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to the situation, whether or not she's lying, it just seems to be more evidence that she's lying about this because of the fact that Druski wasn't famous. That's a big deal. Like, why would Druski specifically be at a Diddy party when he's not known yet? He's not known yet. You know what I'm saying? If it was during a time where he had already gotten famous, maybe it was in the early days of his fame. This ain't even early days of his fame. This is pre-fame Druski. So why would he be there? He's just as good as a regular person walking down the street, but just all of a sudden is at a Diddy party, in the room with Diddy doing crazy shit. It's just hard to believe, dog. So I don't know, man. I guess we gotta sit back and wait and see what happens with this shit.
And when the decision by the judge was made public and that entire thing was dismissed, Sean Combs' legal team would put out this statement. Today's complete dismissal by the 1-800 attorney is yet another confirmation that these lawsuits are built on falsehoods, not facts.
Okay.
For months, we have seen case after case filed by individuals hiding behind anonymity, pushed forward by an attorney more focused on media headlines than legal merit. Just like this claim, the others will fall apart because there is no truth to them. Sean Combs has never essayed or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
Hold on now. We ain't gonna go that goddamn far now. I believe all that now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this specific situation we talking about right here, maybe that didn't take place. But you talking about he ain't never did nothing? I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. It ain't all bullshit. Now, just cause you gotta just cause some of the bullshit walk don't mean you gotta let it all walk. Hell no. We ain't doing that game. We ain't playing that one, bro. We is not playing that game. Sean Combs he never did anything to anybody. He never sexually assaulted anybody or trafficked anybody, man or woman, or daughter or minor. Shut up. Can y'all imagine, like, a couple years from now, looking back on this whole case and being like, yo, this man pdiddy really got away with this. Like, he completely got away. There's too many people talking about things happening at Diddy parties for nothing to have ever taken place. Like, on the level of the craziness that he's being accused of. There's no way.
No number of lawsuits, sensationalized allegations, or media theatrics will change that reality. We will continue to fight these baseless claims and hold those responsible for these false claims. This is just the first of many that will not hold up in the court of law. And that's why I have the feeling that this entire thing is a bit of a smokescreen. Because if you have enough of these outrageous allegations coming out, it allows you to kind of start poking holes and giving a little bit of reasonable doubt to accusations that could actually be legit. And it's like the more outlandish they get, like describing Druski as using her as a slip and slide, and then the timeline not.
That shit was just stupid,
It just
bro.
hurts the case for people who are possibly actual victims of abuse at the hands of P. Diddy. And at this point, it's like Diddy seems so seemingly stuck in this corner that it's like that's all they can do to kind of like alter the public perception a little bit. And as these cases start getting knocked down and dismissed, it kind of starts the social programming, and people start to think, well, maybe these other things aren't real either. And obviously on the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have a whole bunch of people just bringing up false claims because they want a payday, they want a settlement. It's just the way they describe the entire series of events. Just
I hate that
a little
shit,
bit
bro.
Too outlandish for me personally to believe. And I think that it could definitely hurt real victims in this case. Either way, I want to know what you guys think about these accusations down below.
Yeah.
As always, also want to thank you guys for watching today's video.
Yeah, man, because if he completely gets away with the shit just because of these fake and weak ass allegations that really don't make no sense, that probably are mostly false. If he, just because they prove those to be false, he just gets away with everything, that'll be crazy. Because again, as I've said, I don't believe that this man is completely innocent of everything that he's been accused of. Just maybe some of this shit right here, like the Druski's thing. I don't know. I think that this whole thing about Druski, I don't think people really too much believe it anyway, so he'll be just fine. He's not canceled because, you know, the story just don't sound believable. Nothing lines up. It just don't make any sense. Drew's gonna be just fine unless they got more evidence that he actually did, you know, do some shit. So I don't know, bro. That's crazy. We're gonna talk about P. Diddy a lot, but the video was originally about Druski. The allegations are crazy, but I don't think the man did anything. We just gonna have to sit here and hope that we right about that. Hey man, thank y'all for tuning in to the video, bro. Make sure y'all show a lot of love to the video, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a lot of suggestions down in the comment section if you got anything else you want me to watch. And until next time, we up out of this thing. It's your boy Dairu, we signing out. Peace.